So I posted a video a couple of days ago where I was very, very emotional. I was talking about my father and the rift that I have with him, or um, more like the distancing that I've needed to create between him and I, so that I could heal from some of my childhood stuff. And I took that video down within like less than 24 hours. So I posted that video on Tuesday night, and by 1 a.m. I just was so restless. I had so much anxiety within me about posting it, about being so vulnerable in that video, that at 1 a.m. I changed the status of the video to unlisted. And I think by about 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m., something like that, yesterday morning, I had deleted it. And there's something really valuable that I learned about this situation and about this entire process. So what I'm seeing and what I'm recognizing is that within our society, we do not have permission to show our pain. And this is a collective issue within society. It's like, if your videos are, and your content and the things that you're posting, if they are not like the feel good stuff, if they are not elevating, or if they're not the type of content that makes you feel good, like about your problems or about whatever is going on in your life, and isn't evoking like good kind of feelings or happy kind of feelings within you, then those videos are not received well. They're not received well by society. They are not received well by the public. And it's like, there was only 11 comments. It was interesting, actually. There was 111 views on that video at the time that I deleted it, and there was 11 comments. And it was like this bittersweet, like really crazy, intense tug of war within me about deleting it. Because on the one hand, I was like, I don't want to delete this, because this is also a part of who I am, and showing that I am not this invincible, painless person is something that just felt very authentic to me. But at the same time, I had this like super crazy, intense like anxiety about showing that, about revealing that aspect of myself. And I so was overthinking the entire thing, because I literally didn't feel safe. I did not feel safe to put that out into the world. And the reason why I did not feel safe, and this is what I now realize this morning upon sitting with myself and just being quiet and reflective, is that society shuns pain. And it's like, if you show the slightest bit of pain, or if you evoke the slightest bit of discomfort within another, or make someone else sort of reflect on their own pain, or actually look at their own pain, then it's immediately received with, oh, don't focus on the negative. And there was a comment I received, which I'm perceiving as both like positive and negative, because, and not negative in a bad way, but just I'm perceiving it as this very dualistic type of comment. Because on the one hand, this individual was saying, I think it was something along the lines of like empathizing and whatever. But then on the other hand, it was also about like, basically it was saying like, don't focus on the negativity. This individual was saying how they're focusing on, or that they've changed their mindset about looking at things from like easy mode perspective, where like they're telling themselves like, everything is easy for me, and everything is instead of hard, right? Because I mentioned challenge in that video multiple times, and I was talking about how incredibly challenging it is to move through some of this stuff. And just like some of the challenges that I was facing myself. And it's not to say that I want to talk about challenges. I don't want to focus my attention, and I don't want to put messages out there that make you focus on challenges. But what I do want to do is I want us to acknowledge as a society that we all carry pain. And I feel like these last two eclipses, especially the solar eclipse, the second one that we just had on the 29th of March, was because it was the sun eclipse, so it had to do with masculine energy. It was this like uprooting, or it was like bringing up this feeling, this energy within us that I think connected to the masculine principle. So if you had like any masculine wounds, any father wounds, anything like that, then, or partnership wounds, then that kind of stuff was kind of being revealed through this eclipse. It was bringing that shit to the surface. And I know that's why I was so incredibly emotional on the 1st of April about that. I feel like that solar eclipse really triggered, my masculine wound, and really triggered my father wound specifically. And it was revealing to me, it was like showing me, how much pain I have actually been shoving down within myself about that, how much I have not acknowledged, how deeply it hurts, or how deeply it has wounded me or fragmented my soul to not look at the pain that I carry within my heart because I don't have a balanced relationship with my father, or because in the past I haven't had a balanced relationship with my father. And my father is aging. He's getting up there, and it's something that I wish to heal. It is something that I wish to bring into some level of harmony and balance within myself. But the fact that I just didn't feel safe to be seen, the fact that I didn't feel safe to keep the video up, to keep it out there, even though I knew on some level, because I know that Spirit had me posting it because there was going to be a ton of people that were going to identify with that same perhaps father wound that I talked about in the video, and that it was going to be revelatory for them. Like, it was going to bring it to the surface so that they can see it, they can acknowledge it, and they can stop running from it or ignoring it or shoving it down. And what I really want to express in this video is that as a collective, as a society, this is something that is deeply flawed within us. Like, we have this really fucked up mentality about pain and about disowning our pain and running from it. And I was listening to a really, really interesting podcast that was like, so it just clicked, man. Like, all the puzzle pieces fell into place for me about this whole entire thing. Is like, the reason why I feel so exhausted so often is because I have this constant tug of war within myself about showing up as like the healer kata, as like the supportive, the leader, the guide, the messenger for people, bringing messages of love and hope, while simultaneously I'm battling with this internal masking, with this internal hiding of my wounds, that I have to hide those because otherwise I will be perceived, a certain way by society or by my viewers, right? By anyone that comes across my videos. And so this constant internal tug of war that I feel in a world that is so fucking superficial, when I feel everything so deeply, is exhausting. It is really, really challenging. And I know that there are many out there who are empaths, who feel really, really deeply, who feel that they have to hide that depth. They constantly have to diminish it or make it small, and to make themselves fit into society, to make themselves feel like they belong or that they are accepted by society as a whole. Like, when we look at comments under certain videos, it is so revelatory about how we feel, how generally people feel about certain things, right? And like I said, I don't think this is okay, that we're always just, everyone out there is always just seeking that like superficial. It's like they want the video to either be entertaining for them, or they want the videos to be like, very positive or uplifting or funny, or it's like everything and anything just to not have to sit with their shit, just to not have to sit with their pain, just to not have to feel it, to look at it, and to acknowledge it. And that is so fundamentally wrong, because what we do as a collective is every single time that we are ignoring any level of pain within ourselves, every single time that we are not acknowledging, every single time that we are shoving that shit away, what happens is you are fragmenting your soul. You are breaking your soul, and your soul is literally crying and screaming within your body to be acknowledged, to be seen, to be fully heard, to be understood, and the soul is going to carry wounds, and that's a fucking fact of life, whether we accept that or not. It is going to carry wounds because we are easily wounded, because we are all constantly seeking, that tribal atmosphere. We are all constantly seeking acknowledgement and acceptance, most of all, right? Everybody wants to feel like they fit, like they belong, like they are accepted, and most definitely seen, not misunderstood, right? And as an empath, and as someone who feels really fucking deeply, I constantly, my entire life, have felt misunderstood. I have constantly felt like I was not accepted, like I didn't fit, and I never felt like I fit because of this reason, because so much of our world still operates in this very superficial energy, in this very entertain me, elevate me, don't make me look at my wounds, don't make me look at my pain. Like, so much of society still operates in that. And this is toxic. And if this is something that we are not going to change, if we don't collectively choose to change this and to really reveal our authenticity, it's not authenticity that is still valued. That's what I recognize. And the reason why I felt that intense anxiety about posting that video is because I was super fucking raw and real and authentic in that video. There was such a tidal wave of emotion, and it was so fucking deep, and it was so incredibly painful that was rising within me. And not feeling safe to post that, knowing that I'm not going to get the views, knowing that I'm not going to get the type of response that my soul longs to receive, which is not validation, because that's not what the soul seeks truly. The soul is seeking to be understood. The soul is seeking to be connected to. The soul is seeking its own expansion. Like, let me be my full fucking self, let me be my full entirety, like as I am. With the pain, with the light, with the leadership, with all the wisdom, with all of it. It's like, can I just be seen for all of it? And I know that the fact that I didn't feel seen and I didn't feel acknowledged. I even received an email from one of my viewers who said that they were going through actually the same thing, like super emotional. So it's like, on the one hand, I think there was this resonance, this understanding of that experience, right? Because they themselves were going through something really deeply emotional. Something was really being pushed to the surface, some level of pain. And they expressed in the email that it was loneliness, right? That they felt so incredibly fucking lonely. And simultaneously, this individual also indicated in the email that they were shocked to see me. So, I guess crying, like so vulnerable. They were shocked to see that side of me. And you know why it was shocking? Is because I hide that. Is because I constantly feel like I have to mask that part of myself. I constantly, especially as a guide and as a healer for other people, someone who is guiding people back to themselves, I feel like I have this constant invisible expectation upon me from other people to always show up as this light, this powerful, this strong, this, in this leadership energy. And you know what? That's not all who I am. That is a massive part of who I am. But simultaneously, I am also someone who has endured a lot of shit in life, who has had many, many difficult experiences that most people wouldn't even fathom. And those experiences have wounded my soul in so many different ways. It has been so hard for me to exist in a superficial world, feeling as deeply as I feel. Being hyper tuned and hypersensitive to fucking everything all the time. It's like, no wonder I'm exhausted. No wonder I constantly feel this tug of war within myself of on the one hand, wanting to show up as my true authentic self. And on the other hand, feeling like I constantly have to mask and I constantly have to hide my pain or different aspects of myself, because society isn't ready for it, or because society isn't able to accept it. And I know that I'm not the only person. As a matter of fact, I think this is like the dis-ease of society. This is what most people suffer from, because many are sensitive, many are empathic, and many people have this same internal tug of war of not feeling safe to be fully seen in their full authenticity, and feeling like they always have to wear a mask. They always have to wear these layers, these cloaks, to hide parts of themselves, to shrink themselves so that they can fit into society, so that they can be accepted. So they get the views and the clicks and the subscribes and the fucking whatever else. And I'm not here for that. I don't want to live in an inauthentic version of myself just because society isn't ready for it, or just because society is still so entrenched in superficiality. There's some very deep thinking here and some very deep feeling that we really need to allow ourselves to start moving into if we're going to change as a human family, if we're going to change the dynamics of how life exists on planet Earth. Because the reason why there is so much suffering is because everyone's soul is fragmented. Everyone's mind is fragmented. Our emotions are fragmented. There's a constant disconnect between who you actually are and who you show yourself to the world to be. There is a massive disconnect. And it's an issue that I want to address now. Whether I get likes on this video or not, I don't care. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. Because what I recognize is that the only way that I can stop this internal tug of war within myself, the only way that I can truly show up authentically on camera here for you guys on a regular basis, is by acknowledging all parts of myself and allowing all parts of myself to be revealed. I never want to feel that way again. I never want to have to delete videos. And this isn't the first one. I've deleted multiple videos. As a matter of fact, every video that I am speaking my truth in, that I am revealing different aspects of myself, the angry or the frustrated version of myself, or the unseen or the misunderstood version of myself, every time I express those parts of myself, those videos don't do well. And that just goes to show how much everybody does this, how much everybody cloaks and masks their pain and fails to acknowledge it and fails to give it a voice. So that's what I really wanted to talk about right now, because I'm tired of living this way. I am so exhausted from constantly feeling like I have to shrink myself. I have to fucking put the sensors on, or the mask, or, red tape, just so that what I post is acceptable, just so that what I post is comforting or comfortable. And it's not to say I'm not trying to focus on the negativity here. Absolutely not. I have worked so hard to climb out of that hole. I just see life through a very different lens from most people. And I know, working with literally thousands of people up to this point now, I know that the reason why most people suffer is because they abandon parts of themselves, because society shuns those parts and makes us feel like we're not okay if we're not always positive, like we're not okay if we don't always have something positive to say, or if we're not always smiling. But the truth is, deep down inside, everybody's walking around with a mask. The mask is smiling on the outside, while there is deep sorrow, deep sadness, a deep feeling of being misunderstood and not belonging beneath it. So that's the message for today. Little food for thought.